And guys, what's up? What is going on? As always, this is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my Major League Baseball postseason 2018 wrap-up video, of course, from November of 2018. As we're going to take a look back, as I did, of course, my wrap-up video last year before the awards were announced. Well, this year, because of my schedule, a lot of things going on right now, I thought I would just wait until after the awards are presented. I give my predictions for the awards and whatnot how many times throughout the year. So it's like, why keep changing my predictions or repeating my predictions. So just wait till the awards are handed out first before I give the final picks as well. I apologize. Also, want to say this year I said in my postseason, my preseason or spring training video for my predictions for the season, that my goal for this year was try to get a fire lit back inside of me for baseball. As I said, for how many years now, me being a baseball fan, I had relied on my Pirates to be that team that kept my energy going for watching baseball season. And because of that, and of course, me getting more into wrestling over the past 6 years, it kind of killed my my passion for watching baseball, playing baseball, my video games and whatnot. That hasn't gone away. As far as watching baseball like I used to, that passion went away. And this year, I tried to light that fire back inside me. Unfortunately, a brief mid-season slump by the Pirates did kind of wear me down again. But I still can say I felt that some of that fire got lit back in me a little bit. So it's always not going to take one season for me to get that fire back for watching baseball, like I had a couple years ago for the longest time until the Pirates start losing again. But I could say I was satisfied with how the Pirates did this year, and even a lot of other stuff going on around baseball. So I'm feeling that passion coming back. But of course, I did say I was going to try to do a video like once a month involving baseball, not my video games, of course, but Major League Baseball in general. I did not do that, and I do apologize about that. So I will do this postseason wrap-up video, and then probably sometime next week, I do want to do another video talking about some free agents and whatnot. So again, just trying to find ways to get that passion rolling. Maybe doing like a little video whenever like some big free agent gets signed or whatnot, or something like that. So again, I'm going to continue to try really hard to again bring some more baseball content to this channel as well. Because again, besides wrestling, even though wrestling has gotten a lot of views and a lot of attention for this channel for being not do it for fun, but I need to bring out more of me, and that's why my passion for baseball needs to continue to be brought out. But I'm kind of a little bit on time here, so I'm going to kind of make this video kind of quick, not really like too quick, but effective, not like too long either. So what I want to do is go over the predictions that I did at the beginning of the season and mid-season, and how they ended up being the results. So let's get right into it. Starting off, of course, with the standings. Of course, I get my notes at the top of the page here for the American League East. The team I always start off with. Definitely, again, one of the toughest divisions in this league to win because of how good the Yankees and Red Sox always are. For most of the year, I kept thinking the Yankees were going to overcome the Red Sox because I just personally felt they were the better team. They had a lot of big names, a lot of young talent, and of course during the trade deadline, they acquired several arms to bolster that bullpen, especially Zach Britton. And I really felt that was going to be enough for them to get past the Red Sox. It was not. The Red Sox, of course, won this division with the league best 108 wins this year. And of course, the Yankees had some younger talent they relied on a little bit more this year, especially in Gleyber Torres, their second baseman. But of course, the second half, they did have a few big injuries. Didi Gregorius was missed some time in injury. Of course, their biggest loss is definitely Aaron Judge. However, though, the Yankees still were able to pull off, I think 100 wins. Let me double check this here. Let me check Siri here real quick here. Siri, how many wins did the Yankees have in 2018?
Here's what I found on the web for how many wins do the Yankees have 1018.
No. How many wins did the Yankees have in 2018?
The Red Sox won the ALDS 3-1 for the Yankees.
How many regular season wins did the Yankees have in 2018?
The Yankees finished the season with a record of 100.
Okay. But my point's being said. Yeah, I knew the Yankees probably got near 100, but they did get 100 wins. It went 162. They had Didi Gregorius out for some time. They had Aaron Judge out for most of the second half of the season with an injury. I really felt if those two were healthy, the Yankees and Red Sox could have had like nearing like 110 victories, like both. Of course, the Red Sox almost got there. The Yankees definitely could have, but of course, their injuries held them out. Even though, of course, we had Aaron Judge and Didi Gregorius in their lineup for the ALDS, but they got crushed 16-1 in one game and lost in that series. But keep in mind that was Aaron Judge, still kind of hampering that wrist injury he had or whatever. But that was still a nice run there. The Red Sox did win the division. Yankees placed second, won a wild card. The Tampa Bay Rays, though, was the team I felt bad for the most this year. They went 90-72. And keep in mind, they traded away their best pitcher in Chris Archer. Well, we thought was, but they also had a guy by the name of Blake Snell, who to me came out of nowhere. Never knew much about Blake Snell going into the season, but came out of nowhere, and he won the American League Cy Young Award this year, going with a 21-4 record. We've had a good amount of strikeouts, innings pitched. Definitely a big surprise of the year, I got to say. We had him. We also had of course, their hitting was not too bad, and despite the fact also they got rid of Evan Longoria, their franchise player. They traded him to the Giants, who didn't really have that great of a year with the Giants, unfortunately. But they still acquired some people. They got Tyler Glasnow and Austin Meadows from the Pirates. They have Willie Dames, who was their shortstop prospect, which I don't know how he did. I predicted him at the beginning of the year to be my rookie of the year, but I didn't get to see how he really did in the end. But he wasn't really a candidate. Towards the end of the year, it seemed like. And then it was the team that, the Rays are just, even though the fact that they have some downers at times, they're always stacked in the minors. And this year, despite the fact they lost Chris Archer, like I said, they still show that they still have a lot of talent coming up. This team could be definitely any other division. This team could definitely be a dangerous team, I feel. But unfortunately, they came up short because of the Yankees and Red Sox. Now, they could have won the wild card, but there was another surprise team that happened this year that won the second wild card. That a little bit. Blue Jays placed fourth, almost got to 500, I believe. No, sorry, they're 73 and whatnot. So they're getting out of the era of all the power hitters and Batista and Encarnacion, and a lot of the other stars, more veterans starting to get older. So they're still kind of running a younger talent. The Orioles. 47-115, and they had Adam Jones in their lineup. They had Manny Machado for 90 to 100 of those games, and they still sucked. They traded away a lot of key players, of course, at the trade deadline, and Zach Britton, Kevin Gausman. Of course, Adam Jones is a free agent, not coming back. Manny Machado's gone now. They have Chris Davis, who apparently has the worst contract in Major League history right now because he sucks. But yes, and also they got rid of Jonathan Scope also to trade deadline. So those names right there that I mentioned that are gone, especially Adam Jones being gone now because he's a free agent. Excuse me. Imagine how bad they're going to be next year. Because if they were supposed to, is this supposed to be a start of a rebuilding stage for them? They got their work cut out of them. I would hope this team at least wins 50 games next year. I'm hoping, but I'm not too sure. Could they maybe, be worse than the Tigers were in 2003 when they went 43-119? It's looking as possible. But, of course, they're getting a new manager. I don't know. I can't remember if they got one yet. I know they already fired Buck Showalter. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So, hopefully, the Orioles can put on a little bit better of a season next year and not go 47-115 again. But we'll have to wait and see what this offseason brings them and what they do to, try to recover from this. Again, hopefully, they'll probably do 100 losses again next year, but hopefully not as bad. But who knows? We'll see what happens next year. But Red Sox win this division. The Yankees won the wild card, so I was kind of wrong with this division, which is okay. The division I was almost pretty much accurate with was the American League Central. By far the weakest division in the league this year, with the Indians just running away with this division right from the get-go. Weren't as dominant of a team, though, as they have been in the past, though, but they were still, put on a strong year, I felt. The Twins placed second, but they weren't the wild card team they had last year. They only won 78 games, which despite giving up, Brian Dozier at the trade deadline, who didn't really have a good run with the Dodgers. Despite that, the Twins still nearly had a 500 season. So I guess I can give them the credit for that. They did fire Paul Molitor, which I was surprised that they kind of did, because he did lead them to a wild card victory. They still kind of kept them at a decent loop, I'd say, despite the fact that they didn't win as many games as they did last year, of course, or the wild card. But they're keeping him in a different role, not managers. So I was a little surprised they got rid of him so soon. I thought maybe they would give him another chance, because again, this team still has the potential. Of course, Joe Mauer is retired, just announced retirement as well, since he was probably not going to be coming back anyways because of his contract being up and being a free agent. So, I mean, that portion of leadership may be taken away from them as well, which can't hurt a club. Like, look at the Pirates. When AJ Burnett was around, the Pirates were great. When he was not around during the times they were winning, yeah, they're still not too bad of a team, but you could definitely feel that one piece was missing with AJ Burnett's leadership. So I definitely wondered that's going to take a toll on the Twins. After that, it's just like everyone else just sucked. The Tigers, who I predicted at the beginning of the year would play last in this division, placed third. Not saying much again. They're just kind of going through a rebuilding stage as well. The White Sox, this division had two teams that finished with a losing record. White Sox 62-100. I thought they'd have a better year, maybe the third place team or whatnot. Again, I was really impressed with Rick Renteria again when he was the manager for the Cubs. The White Sox again just seemed like they had some talent coming together. They just couldn't come through this year. 62-100 once again, and then 59 and 103 or 58 or something like that was the Royals, who we knew were not going to be that great this year because they're going through a rebuilding stage as well. Thought they'd at least be a little bit better though, since they brought back Moose. They still had they had a few names in that lineup from their World Series run a couple years ago, but obviously a lot of their big names left after this year. They knew last year was like their last chance to make a big statement, but they didn't really quite make as big of a splash in 2017. So obviously the Royals have started their rebuilding stage, and it started with a lackluster year, but it's okay. Teams have to go through it. So they placed last. Maybe they'll improve. I don't know. Yeah, the Tigers I still see as the worst team in this division, in my opinion. But so it's next year. I see maybe the Indians and maybe at least the Twins again doing battle at the top. But the rest of these teams, it's like the White Sox, Tigers, and Royals don't have too much of a prayer for 2019 as of now. Who knows? You never know what can happen. As we talk about the American League West now, I was almost pretty accurate with this one. At the beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be the Astros win division, Mariners placing second and winning a wild card, the Angels placing third, the Rangers fourth, and the Athletics fifth. Well, then midseason, I'm thinking it's going to be Astros, Mariners still. The Athletics, who were on quite a run by midseason, they were a pretty solid team, and they went on to have an even better second half, because they just had a lot of pitching put together well. Their offense was great. They hit a lot of home runs. Chris Davis, not from the Orioles, I said had the worst contract. Chris Davis with the K from the Athletics had a league-leading 48 home runs this year. Literally one of the most underrated players in the game, even though, he doesn't usually hits like 250 or whatnot, but he still hit like 48 home runs, drove about 121, I think it was. He drove in. He had a great year as well. Again, their pitching came around as well, pretty good. But Bob Melvin, once again, seems to have always put on the Athletics. Bob Melvin again. When the Athletics were good years ago, he was the manager. Of course, they kind of took a downward spiral after they did that John Lester trade for Yoenis Cespedes, John Lester and Johnny Gomes for Yoenis Cespedes. I still felt that was not a good idea to get rid of Yoenis Cespedes, because again, that's your cleanup hitter. And if you're in a playoff race, because afterwards, yeah, of course, pitching is probably more important than offense in this game, but went downhill. And of course, the final statistics though were the Astros win division, Athletics winning the second wild card, which again, good for them. The Mariners placed third with an 89-73 record. But I'll be real, if there's any team that I feel may take a big downfall in the next coming years, unfortunately, it'd probably be the Mariners, only because a lot of their better players are getting old. Nelson Cruz is a free agent, I believe. Robbie Cano is starting up there, and of course, he used steroids this year. Of course, I still have D. Gordon. Ichiro, well, he's not playing anymore, but he's going to be playing in the Japan series. But the biggest problem with the Mariners is they don't have a farm system. They don't have many prospects at all. So the future does not look too good for the Mariners. They've had a couple, solid years over the past several years, but I could see them being one of the teams to take a big dip over the next couple years because of that. The Angels, just full bunch of veterans, but never seem to get the pieces of the puzzle together. Of course, we got Ohtani, who, despite only pitching 10 games this year because he suffered injuries, did great with the bat, hit 22 home runs, I believe. Can't remember what his batting average was, but, of course, he had Tommy John surgery, so it looks like we may see him back earlier at the plate, but on the mound, may not see him on the mound again next year. Ohtani did do solid pitching when he was, for the most part, when he was pitching, but I don't know since how good he is batting. He is pretty much a full-time DH for the Angels. I wonder if he is going to continue pitching his entire career in America. I don't know. The Rangers, of course, placed fifth. Kind of expected this. Again, they were a team that I feel like is going through the most rebuilding stage right now, I feel, in this division. So it didn't surprise me they finished at 67-95. I think they'll hit the 70-win mark at least next year. So I'm not too worried about the Rangers. It's just someone's got to place last, and I just figured this is going to be a year of the Rangers. We're kind of like be that downfall team. Of course, I said before, I think the Mariners are going to be a team falling off big time in this division over years because of the lack of people in their farm system. So got to make a couple good big signings this offseason. So we'll see what happens. A division a lot of people would probably pay attention to was the National League East, especially because this was Bryce Harper's last year under contract by the Nationals. Apparently, I've heard two things. One, the Nationals did offer Harper a new 10-year deal, but he turned it down, apparently. Apparently, also, there was an offer from the Astros for Harper at the trade deadline. The Nationals turned it down. And there were talks of maybe the Yankees signing Harper, but putting him at first base. Apparently, that's not going through. And as of now, Harper's not going to the Yankees. I'll talk about, of course, Harper, in my free agent predictions video. I'll try to do it in the next week or so. So they were trying to go all in on him. I thought this was going to be the best team in the National League this year. Unfortunately, it's not the case, as they placed second in their division, but was hovering around 500 for most of the year. The Mets, I thought, were going to be a much better team this year because of their pitching. Obviously, Jacob deGrom had a great year. Noah Syndergaard has come back here since he missed most of 2017. They're good. Their main starting pitchers were healthy. Problem is this year their offense was not healthy at all whatsoever, especially Yoenis Cespedes. And because of that, the Mets finished fourth. Which, was that correct? Yeah, they finished fourth because the Phillies, were a team that was a team that they showed a lot of promise at the beginning, but then they fell off towards the end. So kind of showing that, hey, they're a team that some of these teams that when they start winning, they're able to go all out with it. But some of them, they're taking baby steps, like they're winning, but they can't quite finish the job yet. That was the Phillies this year. So they showed the potential that they were leading the division at one point, battling the Braves and of course Nationals, but then they fell back a little bit. So, of course, I expected them to be better than the Mets after a certain period of time this year. And what else do I got to say about this? And then the Marlins, of course, I expect to be the worst team in the National League. They pretty much were. Not quite as bad as I thought they were going to be compared to the Orioles. But Marlins still have a long way to go. They also got rid of Justin Bour this year also. So they're probably going to trade JT Realmuto. Pretty much everybody's up for grabs, apparently, when it was said done the trade deadline. So, I don't know. Will the Marlins ever be a team that, actually, like a couple years ago, they almost made the postseason, but then Jose Fernandez died, and that kind of threw off everything, according to an interview by Christian Yelich. And National League MVP Christian Yelich, of course. So, who knows, like, when the Marlins are going to be a good team again, or just being just a team that always have more people like a farm system. And again, the Pirates are kind of like that also, but Pirates have showed some life here and there. Marlins haven't showed as much life really. So yeah, that is that division. The Braves are going to end up winning it though. I didn't really talk much about the Braves. The Braves, that team that were kind of like the Astros. I mean, they won 95 games. The Braves, they had a lot of young talent, especially in Ronald Acuna Jr., their leadoff hitter, National Rookie of the Year also, well-deserved, 26 home runs, 16 stolen bases, good batting average. I can't remember exactly what he did, but they had the young talent. They had a lot of pitching. Again, they got a lot of great arms at the trade deadline. And I really was hoping they would be that surprise team in the postseason. Didn't happen, but the future is definitely bright for the Braves. I see them probably winning this division again next year since, the Nationals aren't going to have Harper anymore. And they still have the pitching, but their offense may not be quite as strong, even though Harper, despite having a good year power-wise, still only hit 246. But yes, that's what's happening next year. But that was a surprise, definitely. There, seeing the Braves win the division. I had them placing third in my preseason predictions. And Phillies fourth, Marlins fifth. National League Central. Oh boy, what a year it was for the National League Central, especially the surprise at the end. And you go kind of thank the Pirates somewhat for this. So the Reds placed last, which again surprises. The Reds always seem to have those hitters together. They had some peaks in their pitching here and there, but they still weren't able to put pieces together. They still had another 67, 95 season. That team that still they were stuck in the same spot for like all these years. So the Pirates even we're in their 20-year losing streak, nearing 500, really bad. In the middle, really bad. Near 500. Like it was that thing. The Reds seem to always stuck in this 67, 95 season. I thought at least they'd win like 75 games or whatnot this year. The Pirates would be again, I predicted the Pirates would 68 games during the beginning of the year. I thought the Pirates would place last. But I can say as a Pirate fan, I was pleased with how we did this year. Yes, we started off really good. June-ish, we kind of went into a slump. After the All-Star game, we played pretty good. And I did like the acquisitions of Chris Archer and Keone Kela. A lot of potential, a lot of experienced, solid arms in the rotation and bullpen. That bullpen for the Pirates, I'm still saying needs another arm because again, there were too many inexperienced arms in that bullpen this year. Starting pitching though, seems very promising. Batting not too bad as well. Of course, we got rid of Josh Harrison. We re-signed Jung Ho Gung, which a little iffy about that because of his DUI issues he's had over the past several years. That I was a little ticked off that we had re-signed him. We know from Josh Harrison, but I think Kevin Kramer and Kevin Newman are about ready for the majors. Of course, not running both of them at the same time, so we're keeping Jordy Mercer, it seems like, until both of them are ready. Although I would have kind of rather had Harrison stay over Mercer, though, because Harrison, I feel, is a more reliable player, even though he gets injured more than Mercer. But I'm still okay with Jordy Mercer sticking around and whatnot. And, of course, we had great seasons from Corey Dickerson, Gary Polanco, who's going to miss first couple months of the season with that with his shoulder injury or whatever heck he had. And Marte didn't do too bad this year. I kind of gained a little more respect back for him after his steroid 2017. Josh Bell, hoping for a little bit of bounce back from the power with him. And then, of course, Colin Moran, not bad. Francisco Cervelli, I felt, had the career year. So Pirates got 82 wins. Winning season, I was happy. I'm satisfied with how the Pirates did this year. Hoping we can at least keep going and maybe stay in that range, at least 82, 85 wins for next year. I don't see them winning the division next year. Maybe pushing for the wild card, but who knows? But I'm hoping they at least put on another solid season, I feel, or decent but solid season, I feel. They placed fourth. And the Falcons were going to place last. The Cardinals placed third. Shocker when they got rid of manager Mike Matheny around around the All-Star break. They had a new manager in there. They did kind of get back in the mix a while for the playoff race, but they just came up short, kind of like I predicted at the beginning of the year. They still have some young talent. I really like that Jose Martinez that they have, that big guy who plays first base and right field. I think he's going to be a great bat someday for them. But obviously Matt Carpenter for a while was the hottest hitter in baseball. He would make an MVP case for him, but then his second half, last 2 months, kind of slumped. So, again, the Cardinals still have names that seem to know how to win, but I do think they're definitely all starting age. And it may be a few years until the Cardinals kind of start doing a little bit of a rebuilding stage. Not a big rebuilding stage, but a little bit. course, Marcell Ozuna didn't have as good of a year as he did in 2017. Dexter Fowler was injured at times also. So they still have some names on his team that could definitely help his team, win a division. But it's going to be tough. We had the Cubs, of course, who surprisingly didn't win the division, won a wild card, and lost that wild card game to the Rockies in a really, really great extra inning game. Loved it. It was a great game. I loved it. Of course, Javier Baez is probably the biggest star on his team. Obviously, the rest of their bats weren't as dangerous as they were, and they had some injuries in their starting pitching. Their bullpen wasn't bad, but their starting pitching had some question marks right there. So they might have to get a little more reliable arm in there. And also a big problem this year, Chris Bryant was injured most of this year also. And, of course, the Pirates took 2 out of 3 or swept them right towards the end of the season. And the Brewers, who were just on fire, who won this division in a tiebreaker game with the Cubs, just had a great season. Their offense was incredible. Christian Yelich winning the National League MVP. His second half of the year was absolutely incredible. He missed a couple weeks towards the end of the first half, though, with an injury. But, man, Christian Yelich is just incredible. We'll talk about him a little bit more when I get to the awards. The only problem I had with the Brewers, though, well, besides Ryan Braun, is the fact that they don't have a starting pitcher. They really need a starting pitcher. Like another big arm. They don't really have a big ace right now that is going to give them, that reliable fifth they start every single day. I think they need that, and this team is going to be unstoppable. I mean, of course, I'm not sure if Mike Moustakas or Jonathan Scope are sticking around because they're the two big bats they acquired at the trade deadline. But this team, either way, still has much potential. Their outfield was stacked. They even got Curtis Granderson to be that guy who comes off the bench and you want him to smack one out of the yard. They got him for that role for a month, which was cool with me. Of course, I think it's time to move on with Ryan Braun, though. And I'm not just saying because I hate him, but, he's 35 years old. He's not as productive as he used to be. And that outfield is stacked with a lot of talent to begin with. And they took away a lot of playing time from Domingo Santana this year. So I do think it might be time we move on from the Ryan Braun era in Milwaukee. Thank you. Okay. But, yeah, they won a division. It was just it was an awesome year for the Brewers, I got to say. 10 years ago, you can say I hated them. I actually think they're a pretty good team now. I'm not going to deny. I actually really like the Brewers. And especially that second half of the year, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of Christian Yelich. I think, again, he's a great young player. He deserves the MVP award like he did. I mean, if it was for him, definitely Nolan Arenado I'd want to see win the MVP award. But yeah, I've just been really impressed ever since he came to the major leagues. And he's slowly become one of my favorite players in the game right now, and maybe all time. He's awesome. The hot run in September, especially was unreal. But congratulations, of course, to win it, and of course the Brewers again for winning this division, and they could win again next year. Who knows? It depends on how the Cubs do this offseason. But if not the Cubs, the Brewers are definitely going to be at the top of this division for quite a while, I feel. So we had that, and finally National League West. We'll talk about these divisions a lot longer than I expected to. Originally, I had the Dodgers winning it, Giants getting a wild card, Rockies, Diamondbacks, and Padres, because I thought this would be a tight division with the Padres being kind of that bad luck that team that has a better year, especially how they played in the second half of last year, but they come short. Well, Padres placed last. The Giants still placed fourth. Disappointed with that. I thought with their pitching went up, but their pitching had some injuries this year, and their offense wasn't as regular as I hoped. So it sucks. I was also really rooting for the Giants because I wanted Andrew McCutchen to win the World Series. Of course, it was the Yankees, but that didn't help either. The Yankees didn't get past the ALDS. I originally thought the Rockies were going to place third because I really liked the Diamondbacks, but the Diamondbacks end up being that team that kind of fell off in the second half. They didn't fall off as bad, too bad, I'd say, but bad enough to not be in the race anymore. I was disappointed with how they went because I really liked, the Diamondbacks and their hitting and their pitching combined. Of course, they lost Patrick Corbin out of free agency, so that's gonna be a big loss. So I don't know how they'll recover from that. And of course, Paul Goldschmidt is probably the Diamondbacks are probably a year. If the Diamondbacks don't win next year, they're probably going to be a rebuilding team in 2020. I feel because Paul Goldschmidt's will probably be gone. I've heard rumors that the people's predicting that they should try to trade him to the Astros or something like that. Will be a bad deal for the Stros, but we'll see what happens there. The Rockies, of course, won the wild card after losing a tiebreaker game with the Dodgers, but that incredible game again with the Cubs. And probably my favorite game of the whole year for sure was that wild card game between the Cubs and Rockies. But again, their pitching has come around. They always had the hitting. Their pitching has come around big time, especially with German Marquez, who won the Pitcher's Silver Slugger Award, and also Kyle Freeland, who had that incredible start in that wild card game. But they placed second, and again, I kind of hope they continue to. Dodgers placed first. There was a time being I thought that the Dodgers weren't going to be as good, especially after Corey Seager went down with an arm injury earlier this year. But of course, the Dodgers covered that right back up by getting Manny Machado. So they still not as good as last year, but were still a good team this past year, which got into the World Series, of course. But we'll see what happens when Corey Seager comes back next year. If the Dodgers still can keep it up or not, or if the Rockies will overcome them. I mean, I'd really like to see the Rockies win a division. I've always kind of been an underrated Rockies fan, I got to say, because I've always enjoyed their hitters. I mean, yes, no, they play in Colorado, but they've had some of the greatest hitters, I definitely got to say. And definitely Arenado again, who once again got kind of, suck, because again, this guy is due to win an MVP award. But of course, someone else keeps passing out. Like, if it wasn't for Christian Yelich's hot second half, even though people are saying Javier Baez going to win the MVP award, I would have loved to have seen Arenado win the MVP award, but he didn't quite get it because Yelich got it. But I've heard rumors also, people are saying stuff like, since this is next year's going to be the last year of Arenado's contract, what if they trade him for another pitcher this offseason? That would suck if they do, because the Rockies are in a good position, or they could re-sign Arenado or whatnot. A lot to think about this offseason, though, of course. But that happened there. AL MVP was Mookie Betts. Beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be Aaron Judge. Middle of the year, I thought it was going to be Mookie Betts. Even though Mookie Betts won, I was right for midseason prediction. I still told me it would have been JD Martinez, but then again, Mookie Betts, because JD hit 330, 43 homers, 130 ribbies. I mean, Mookie Betts only had 30 homers, 8 RBIs, but that 30 stolen bases, 346 mark. For like a leadoff hitter especially, you can't get any better than that, pretty much. So I definitely say Mookie Betts deserved this. But I was surprised, though, that JD Martinez was in consideration for this. But Mookie deserves it for sure. I already talked about Christian Yelich winning the National League MVP, maybe because of his great second half. Again, Blake Snell won, even predicted Arenado most of the year. For American League Cy Young, Justin Verlander at the beginning of the year. It was Garrett Cole at midseason, because I was very impressed with what he did. But I went to Rays starter Blake Snell, who came out of nowhere. I look forward to see what else he brings to the plate in the upcoming years. National League, always go with Clayton Kershaw for a safe bet. He was injured again throughout this year, so didn't quite get it. Max Scherzer didn't get it, but it was Jacob deGrom of the Mets. I kept thinking he would, because Blake Snell had like a 189 ERA, I believe it was. DeGrom had like an ERA like the ones also like 170 or 180, something, I can't remember exactly. But his record was only 8-8 or like something like that. He had didn't have like a high winning record or whatnot. But you can't take away again that he definitely had one of the best seasons we've seen in a long time, the pitcher. So even though it wasn't my first pick, I give him the credit. So congratulations to Jacob deGrom on winning the National League Cy Young. For Rookie of the Year, Willie Adames, I thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year. Midseason, Gleyber Torres. Ended up being Ohtani from the Angels, which, I'm okay with. But again, the thing was, it's about, whenever someone comes over from, a different, league or whatnot, my thing is, well, yeah, they're rookie in this league, but they played in, other leagues before. So, why they should be considered a rookie when they have the experience? They're just playing in a different league, if you know what I mean. The minor leagues are meant to be the league to build the people up. They're going to chase the majors come from another league. To me, it's just I'm not too crazy about that. That's why I never would really pick someone like that to, win Rookie of the Year. But Ohtani deserves it again. He only got to pitch 10 games, I believe, but his bat, of course, also was unreal also. So give him the credit where credit is due. He deserves it. So congratulations to Ohtani. Comeback Player of the Year, I believe it was voted on. It was David Price. I thought it was going to be also for Rookie of the Year. I thought it was going to be J.P. Crawford at the beginning of the year, or Jose Martinez by midseason. For American League, again, I already said the winner was Ronald Acuna Jr. Again, I already praised him in the standings. Comeback Player of the Year, I thought it was going to be Aaron Sanchez at the beginning of the year, then Justin Verlander midseason, because he was not really the same for a while with the Tigers, but ever since coming to the Astros, he picked it right back up. ended up being David Price, which, all right, I mean, he had a better year this year than 2017, of course, because he was injured for most of 2017. In 2016, he was good, but not as sharp as he was. He's still not as sharp as he was when he was with the Rays. But he still had a great year, definitely to get the Red Sox in the postseason. So I'm cool with that. And despite having a little bit of injuries again this year, Matt Kemp got National League Comeback Player of the Year. I had it printed at a midseason also. Beginning, I thought it was going to be Noah Syndergaard, but I don't think he put on as good of a year as we had hoped for. But Matt Kemp, despite having some injuries, at one point this year, around the All-Star break, was one of the hottest hitters in the league. Finished with like 21 homers, 85 ribbies, 290. So not a bad year in his first year back in LA. Manager of the year, beginning of the year, it's going to be Aaron Boone. This was his first year as manager. This season was going to be Scott Servais from the Mariners, but that ended up being Bob Melvin of the Athletics. Thought they could have given it to maybe also Alex Cora for his first year as manager for the Red Sox and then win 108 games. But cool to give him back to Bob Melvin again for getting the team back, the winning ways he used to. So congratulations to Bob. The National League, at the beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be Mickey Callaway. I thought the Mets were going to have a bounce back year. Didn't happen because their offense sucked this year. I thought it was going to be Craig Counsell for leading for the job he did with the Brewers, especially getting them to the postseason like they did, and the run they had in the postseason was strong. But ended up being Braves manager Brian Snitker, which cool with that as well because they put the pieces of the puzzle together with their young talent and whatnot. For playoffs, I thought we were going to see Boston in this game taking on the Twins at the beginning of the year. The Mariners midseason, but ended up being the Yankees defeating the Athletics, which sucked for the Athletics. They had such a great Cinderella story year, but didn't work out. The Yankees beat them. The National League wild card game changed so many all three times. Beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be the Giants defeating the Mets. Midseason, I thought it was going to be the Diamondbacks defeating the Brewers, but ended up being the Rockies defeating that Cubs. Again, my favorite game of the year by far. Kyle Freeland pitched unbelievable in that game. Of course, the battle that these two teams went to was great. For the division series, we had the I beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be the Yankees defeating the Red Sox, which they did. That was my midseason prediction also. But this time, the Red Sox blew out the Yankees 3-1, especially that 16-1 loss they had. The Red Sox blew out the Yankees. Man, I always had that was going to be Houston and Cleveland, but Houston swept the Indians, kind of surprisingly, which sucked for them. The National Division Series, I thought it was going to be San Francisco and Washington. Nationals didn't make neither team made the postseason. And as the Cubs didn't even get far. I thought the Nationals would beat the Cubs in the second half of the season when I did my predictions, but end up being the Brewers sweeping the Rockies 3-0. Showed that they're a dangerous threat in this league. The Dodgers, I definitely had them coming in, but I thought they would beat the Cubs at the beginning of the season, but again, the Cubs didn't make it. Diamondbacks didn't make it either. I thought they would take on them in the second half. But then ended up being the Dodgers defeating the Braves 3-1. A little disappointed in that series, guys. I thought the Braves were going to be that team that really put up a good fight. Especially again, I just really like their mix of their veterans and younger talent. Especially because I thought they had better pitching than the Brewers. Dodgers beat them 3-1. American League Championship Series, we had the I kept saying it was going to be the Yankees and Astros, the rematch from last year. Some of the Yankees coming out on top, but this time it was the Red Sox defeating the Astros 4-1. National League, I thought it was going to be. I knew LA was going there the whole year. Thought they would defeat the Giants at the beginning of the year. Giants didn't make the postseason. You did the Nationals, so it didn't happen for the second half predictions. But they ended up defeating the Brewers in a great 7-game series. Again, the Brewers were definitely that team that first year experience in a while, and they put on a great showing definitely. And again, I think they could be definitely World Series contenders for next year for sure. Finally, the World Series, thought it was going to be Yankees and Dodgers this whole year. Wasn't the case, though, as it was the Red Sox and Dodgers, and the Red Sox beat the Dodgers 4-1. I didn't think the Dodgers would stand a chance against either the Yankees or Red Sox. Red Sox won 4-1. World Series MVP, when it was the Yankees, at the beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be Gary Sanchez. Middle of the year, I thought it was going to be Stanton, who still put on a pretty good year with the Yankees. I'll give him credit for that. But who did end up being the World Series MVP? That's right. Former Pirates, Steve Pearce. Couldn't do any of this stuff with the Pirates. Earned him a new contract with the Red Sox, but, again, he deserves it. I give credit to Steve Pierce definitely for what he did. He definitely deserves this victory that he got. Getting the World Series and also being World Series MVP. Great show, especially in the last couple games of the World Series. He had 3 big home runs. So yeah, the Red Sox win the World Series, and that's it for the 2018 Major League Baseball season. Again, I'll try to do a free agent video. I'm kind of rushing off, but I kind of talked a lot longer than I expected to on this video, just about the standings and whatnot. But I got head out. But yeah, guys. So that's my wrap up for the postseason. Again, I thought it was a good season for baseball. Again, definitely been an interesting offseason with Machado and Harper on the free agent market and a few others. We'll see what happens. Who else might be retiring this year again? I'll talk about like the free agent stuff probably sometime next week. But again, guys, leave your thoughts on the Major League Baseball season and you're down in the comment section below. As always, be sure to click buy, like, and subscribe, or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, to Everybody 3. And yeah, I was hoping to continue to get that fire lit back in me with being a baseball fan again and watching baseball more again. I got back somewhat this year, but still not enough. And it wasn't going to happen over one season. So let's keep it going here. And also, go Bucks. So, guys, thanks again for joining in for this live stream. I'm going to check out later, guys. I'll see you guys all later on tonight, later for my live review of Monday Night Raw. I'll catch you guys then. So then, guys, have a great rest of your day. Peace out, everybody.